It's a good one today, guys. Hello, sorry I haven't been online for a while, but today's video is about medicine. I was talking to a doctor recently, not a real doctor, one which helps you in hospital rather than a PhD, and they told me some rather interesting things from an evolutionary perspective. First of all, let's just clarify, in order for a mutation in a multicellular organism to be passed down from one generation to the next, it can't just happen in any cell. You can't just have a mutation in your skin cell or a bone cell. It has to be within the germline, so that's one of the cells which are involved in reproduction. Mutations which occur in any other cells aren't going to be passed on, so even if they are beneficial to an organism, which is what evolution depends on, it's not actually going to make any difference. For an animal to evolve according to a process of Darwinian evolution, it has to be within the germline. But this is where it gets all very interesting, because the germline is actually very resistant to mutations actually taking place. There's a process called apoptosis, or programmed cell death, where if a germline cell does actually mutate, it will specifically kill itself off. This self-destruct mechanism can be used for many different processes, but generally a germline cell which mutates will essentially try and kill itself off. It is programmed to destroy itself. Now, the reason why this is very interesting is because if we take the two worldviews, an evolutionary perspective first, then this mechanism should not make sense in any way whatsoever. It should never have been selected for. It's obviously something which is required. It's not just something which happens accidentally. It's something, a mechanism. So it would have had to evolve, and yet it would have been completely counterproductive from an evolutionary point of view, because it reduces the effect of mutations, all of them, good and bad. For a species as a whole, this would be terrible. It would be completely counterproductive, and it would hold a species back. And yet, obviously, many multicellular organisms have this, so it's, in theory, it has been selected for. So it flies completely in the face of evolution. However, if we take the other perspective, that God created something in creation and it was designed in that manner, then it makes perfect sense, because if you have a very good design to begin with and you don't want it to change, then it makes sense that when things alter by accident, which are mostly detrimental, then you would want that to have as little effect as possible. If you're coming from a position where the original item was well designed, then you don't want many changes which are going to ruin it statistically. In light of this worldview, the mechanism makes perfect sense, and it completely endorses the concept of design, that you have something which is very good to start off with, which took intelligence, rather than something which was rubbish and just developed along. Because if evolution was true, this mechanism just shouldn't exist. But conversely, with God designing things, or with intelligent design, this mechanism makes perfect sense. If you've got any questions, feel free to post.